What if everything you've been taught about being a man is making you weaker? They told you to chase status, to react fast, to always speak your mind, to win every argument. But the strongest men in history, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, they chose a different path, a quieter one, a harder one, a wiser one. Stoicism isn't just philosophy, it's a battle plan for real strength. Not the kind that flexes in the mirror, but the kind that can't be broken when life punches you in the face. In this video, you'll discover 8 brutal, timeless lessons from the Stoics that most men will never learn. But those who do, they become unshakable. Let's begin. Lesson number 1. Control yourself or be controlled. Marcus Aurelius wasn't writing about popularity or conquest, even though he was the most powerful person in the world at the time. He wrote about how to keep his mind in check. Most guys today still don't get it. You'll be a slave to everything if you don't master yourself. He made it clear, you control your mind, not what happens in the outside world. Know this, and you will be strong. Still, most men spend their whole lives trying to control things they can't change. They worry about being pushed around, the weather, and people who don't like them. They lose it over politics, go crazy when someone criticizes them, or shut down when things don't go their way. But the most important arena of all is left undefended, their own mind. This is totally wrong for the Stoic man. He knows that being in charge doesn't mean controlling other people. It's about taking care of the inner one. That's where the real power is. It's not the man who talks the loudest. It's not in the one that makes the most money or lives the flashiest life. In the man who stays calm when things get tough, who doesn't let anger get in the way of his plans. Someone who doesn't let fear or pride stop them. People turn to that man when things get tough. To be clear, having self-control doesn't mean acting like you don't feel anything. That's not what it means to become robots. For the Stoics, everything was real. They just didn't let their feelings control what they did. No man is free who is not master of himself, Epictetus said. He was born a slave and became a great teacher. That truth hurts a lot, because most guys today are stuck in their own desires. They read when they should be at work. When they should be quiet, they break out. They look for pleasure and avoid pain. A part of them is given up every time they do it. But a man who rules himself is the most dangerous kind of dangerous. He doesn't want to control other people because he doesn't let anything control him. He doesn't blink when someone insults him. He changes things when plans don't work out. In bad times, he doesn't freak out, he learns. Power like this doesn't yell. It doesn't want to be accepted. It shines. You're not in charge of the market. You can't change the past. You can't direct other people. However, you are in charge of your thoughts, actions, energy, and attention. That's your kingdom. You are responsible for that. Plus, you'll always be chasing something that gets away from you until you fully own it. The Stoics thought that beating yourself was the first and most important win. Everything else is less important. So think about this. Do you rise with the stress or do you rise above it? When put to the test, do you give up or show the world that nothing can change how you feel? Don't let anyone rule you or let them. There's no middle ground. Lesson number 2. Emotions are signals, not commands. When bad things happen, how you handle them is what counts, as Epictetus said. Men are told to either control their feelings or hide them. Both ways end in weakness. The third way is found in Stoicism. You should feel your emotions, but they shouldn't run your life. Getting angry? Okay, knock it off. But don't let it in. Fear starts to creep in? Check it out. Don't feed it though. The Stoic person doesn't try to hide how they feel. They see things clearly, feel things deeply, and act wisely. That peace in the middle of the storm, that calm balance while other people lose it, that's what happens when you handle your emotions. Not feeling dead, not being cold, but keep it in. Anger, fear, envy, or sadness are not enemies. They're just telling you something. Their arrival is not an order, but information. But most men treat them like gods or monsters that need to be buried. And both times, they lose. When a man gives in to his anger, he hits walls, hurts people, and says things he can't take back. Men who hide their pain become numb, angry, and cut off from others. Both illusions can't stand up to Stoicism. As Seneca said, no man is more unhappy than he who never faces trouble. That's because he can't prove himself. Emotions are a type of trouble. They see how strong, clear, and patient you are. You should not shut them up. You should try to understand them. Anger may show up to tell you that something doesn't seem fair. Okay, now take a break. Steps. Respond, but don't be angry. Respond with a plan. You might feel scared because you're going into the unknown. Okay, that's a sign that growth is coming. Lean in instead of running. To be emotionally strong, you can't just be tough in a shallow way. The point is to stay steady. While everyone else is going crazy, ranting or responding, you stay still. It's you who shines a light in the storm. What that means is that you still feel it. It means you don't follow it. He lets the feeling go through him like wind through a bush. It's okay. And he thinks. Then he acts on purpose instead of by chance. Even though his kingdom was falling apart and his children were dying, Marcus Aurelius kept telling himself, if you are upset by something outside of you, the pain is not from the thing itself, but from how you think about it, and you can change this at any time. That's the important thing. It doesn't make you feel anything. They come up inside you. Your freedom is in what you do next. You're not weak just because you feel. You're not strong because you don't care. You're strong because you can stop. Thoughts. Pick and choose. Being a slave to your feelings ends when you stop acting like an animal and start acting like a man, thoughtfully, clearly, and in charge. You take control of them. In a world where instinct rules, that means you can't be stopped. Always keep this in mind. Feelings are not the issue. Blindly following them is. Let them talk, but don't let them decide what to do. You are the leader. You are in charge. Life stops feeling like chaos as soon as you take back that seat. It starts to feel like something you were born to lead. Lesson number 3. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. Seneca said, "We don't have little time to live. We waste a lot of it." For most guys today, comfort is the most important thing. A warm bed, more money, and a life without problems. But being comfortable is a trap. It makes you less strong. Real men choose to go through hard times. They move quickly, they work out, they get up early. They do it because they want to, not because they have to. Because they know that ease leads to sickness. He slept on the floor in the winter when he was emperor. Why? To tell himself that being rich doesn't make a man. No, endurance does. You start to grow into something solid and strong when you stop running away from pain. Comfort can make men settle for less than they deserve. It tells you enough is enough. It's easy to fall for, with wealth that looks like laziness. Deep down, though, there is a slow death going on, the death of control and purpose. Men are not meant to rest. We were made to fight back. And when things are too easy, we start to rot from the inside out. Seneca said, "Set aside a certain number of days during which you will be happy with the scantiest and cheapest food and the roughest clothing. During this time, ask yourself, is this the condition that I feared?" Why did he say that? Because you are no longer controlled by pain when you choose it. You can see that being hungry won't hurt you. You won't die from being cold. Trouble won't make you who you are. You become unshakable, not just in theory, but in real life too. People in our world love things that are easy, quick delivery of food, streamed entertainment right away, pain dulled by something else. The Stoic man, on the other hand, gets up before the sun. He goes to the gym even though his body is screaming to sleep. He turns down easy things and takes on important ones. He does this not for fame, but to keep his mind sharp. Even though Marcus Aurelius was emperor, he still slept on the ground, trained his mind every morning, and kept telling himself that he was going to die. He was hurting not because he wanted to, but because he wouldn't forget what was important. It's not easy to become a king. Yes, resistance does. Feeling at ease makes you weak. When things get tough, it makes you freak out. What about pain? That helps you build a base inside. The man who has trained himself to endure, who has been hungry, silent, alone, and failed, walks differently. He talks in a different way. He's not faking his confidence. He got it by voluntarily putting up a fight. Do you want to be great? Stop going after what makes you feel good. Do the things that make you strong. Because the version of you that doesn't break when tried is on the other side of pain. Who stands tall when others give up? The Stoics were not afraid of pain. They asked it to be a teacher. And that's the way a real man should think. Don't run away from pain, run into it. It's not your enemy. It's where you can test yourself. Lesson number 4. You are not what you own. Take a look around you. How many guys die and live their lives chasing things? Titles, cars, followers, and fame. Wealth does not consist in having many things, but in having few wants, Epictetus said. Tomorrow you might lose everything. Your job, your house, your good name. If those things are a part of who you are, you're one step away from falling apart. Real men base their sense of self on their virtues, on who they are when everything else is taken away. Character, honesty, bravery, and discipline are things that can't be touched. They are not for sale or theft. Detachment is something that Stoics do because they don't hate things, but because they don't want to be owned by them. Epictetus was a slave when he lived. He didn't have anything, not a property, not a good name, not a status. Still, his lessons have been around longer than emperors and kings. Why? Because he knew something that most men today have forgotten. A man's beliefs, not his things, make him a man. In every city, you'll see guys trying to show that they are successful. Watches that shine, very expensive shoes, high-end cars, but many of them are hollow on the inside, flimsy egos that look fancy. The Stoic man can see through that lie. If your sense of worth is tied to your bank account, he knows that all it takes is one market crash to feel hopeless. If you need praise and applause to feel good about yourself, you're just a doll dancing for approval. Someone with a lot of money in Rome named Seneca said, "The poor person is not the one who has too little, but the one who wants more." That is the truth. Even if you live in a huge mansion, you might not have any mental wealth. Even if you have 10,000 fans, you'll still want to be liked. That is taken away by Stoicism. It asks, who are you when the noise stops? When the fans go away? When the cash runs out? A real man doesn't worry about that moment. He gets ready for it. He takes it easy. He stops being so driven to get more. He doesn't hate ease or success because he doesn't want to give up his soul for short-term praise. The Stoic man would be fine even if he lost everything, because what's important can't be taken away. His strength, his honesty, and his focus. Every day, Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that his throne, his robes, and his titles were only temporary, even though he was in charge of the biggest kingdom in history. Receive without pride, he said. Please let go without holding on. That's strength. To enjoy the good things without having to have them. To have a lot of money without owning it. to get praise without wanting it. The Stoic man doesn't show how much he's worth. He does it. The way he talks, how he seems to listen, he always does what's right, even if it costs him something. He doesn't care about rank. He radiates substance. Don't forget this. You are not your car. You're not what you wear. You're not your fans, your resume, or the person you see when you look in the mirror. What you do when no one is looking shapes who you are. That's what makes you rich. Everything else is just for looks. Lesson number 5, speak less, listen more. No man was ever wise by chance, Seneca wrote. Being wise is quiet. It does hear, looks around, it only talks when it has to. Today, everyone is speaking. No one wants to be quiet, they want to be heard. But real men, they don't say unnecessary things. They do not argue to make their points. They don't talk just to fill the void. They pick to be still. They look around. When they speak, it's because their words are stronger than their silence. The quiet man is attractive in a noisy world. He's not trying to be impressive. He is already impressive. In ancient times, the Stoics knew something that has always been true. People who talk a lot aren't always wise. People who know when to be quiet have it. Seneca said that talking too much was not a sign of power, but of weakness. No man was ever wise by chance, he said. This is because knowledge comes from seeing things, not just having an opinion about them. From thinking, not reacting. The world today likes noise. People want to get likes, fights, and respect. A lot of people have things to say, but not many of them are worth listening to. The men in the arguments don't understand anything. They post just to be seen. They talk without thinking. This is not true for the Stoic man. Takes a look. He waits. It's okay. People in the room pay attention to him because they know he doesn't waste words. He doesn't talk from pride. What he says comes from understanding. When you hold back, you have power. Nature gave us one tongue and 2 ears so we could listen twice as much as we speak. Epictetus told his students to be careful with their words. Take that in. Men don't fear being quiet, they use it. There is a quiet power in being still. By not getting angry over every insult. By not having to explain yourself right away. By letting other people talk while you look for the truth. Most of the time, the man who talks the most is also the most nervous. But he orders the quiet man, the one who picks every word like it's a weapon, without asking. Marcus Aurelius started each day by writing in a notebook. He didn't do this to shout to the world, but to get his thoughts in order. He didn't need attention. He wanted to understand. That's what makes a Stoic man unique. He does not talk to impress. When the time is right, he talks to say something real. Want to be dealt with well? Talk less. Do you want to be remembered? Pick your words very carefully. Do not fill up room. Don't try to get acceptance. Don't explain everything you do. Allow your appearance to speak for itself. Let the weight of your quiet hit you. When there are too many words in the world, restraint is hard to find, and important things are hard to find. Lesson number 6. Life is short. Wake up. Memento mori means remember that you will die. That phrase wasn't meant to make you scared. It was meant to wake you up. Marcus Aurelius thought about his death every day, not because he was morbidly obsessed, but because it helped him concentrate. You can't get back the time you lost because of fear, envy, or being lazy. Real men don't go through life asleep. They know that time is the one thing that can't be replaced. They choose to live that way. They choose purpose over fun things. And when the end comes, they don't feel bad about it because they lived their whole lives. Remember that you are going to die. It wasn't a whisper of bad news. A strong roar came from it. The Stoics didn't use death to make people afraid. They used it to bring things to a head. It was written by Marcus Aurelius. You could end your life right now. What you do, say, and think should be based on that. That's not a figure of speech. That's the truth. One sickness, one accident, or one phone call ends it all. The real question is not how long you will live, but what you will do with the time you have left. A lot of guys act like they're gonna live forever. They waste time like there is no end to it. Hours are lost in reading, talking, and other activities. But each second you waste is a piece of your soul that you can't get back. You have no idea how many more mornings you have, the number of sunsets. How many chances are there to say or do what's important? While we are putting things off, life speeds by, Seneca said. He was right too. You'll always be older than you are now, never better ready. You'll never be closer to your last breath. Now what do you wait for? For just the right time? For confidence to come out of nowhere? So that someone can let you? Men don't wait. They do something. They don't hope that life will give them value. The way they show up today, this hour, this minute, gives their lives meaning. Their time does matter to them, so they treat it like it does. That's what makes them dangerous, concentrated, still alive. The Stoic doesn't keep setting goals in the hopes of getting there. He knows that being happy doesn't happen when you reach the end goal. It happens when you live each day with purpose. From saying no to making up stuff. From standing up for what he believes in. From being there for every breath, every conversation, and every struggle. Someone will say your name one last time one day. Your hands won't move. Your voice will be quiet. What's left? Are you leaving behind a path of distraction and regret, or a path of strength and purpose? Get up. The time has already passed. Don't waste any more time on unimportant things. Do not wait until tomorrow to become the person you were meant to be. There's no need for more time. You need to be more clear. And when you understand that, you begin to truly live. Lesson number 7. Not every battle deserves a response. Someone makes fun of you, tells lies about you, boosts your pride. A lot of guys react. They fight to keep their honor. But Epictetus said, if someone is able to provoke you, know that your mind is part of the provocation. A Stoic man doesn't always react to problems. He doesn't fall for it. He doesn't respond. He's grounded. Often, the most painful answer is silence. Clapping back doesn't show real power. Being calm in the first place shows that they are sure. Silence is a strength in a world that can't get enough of anger. Someone online makes fun of you, spreads is behind you. Ask yourself what you're worth. What do most guys do? They fight back. They fight back, yell, and post. The Stoic man knows, though, that some fights aren't worth getting hurt over. Epictetus said it best. If someone is able to provoke you, know that your mind is part of the provocation. Take that in. The attack itself doesn't have power. How you cope with it does. If someone else's words make you upset, you've given them access to your inner world. Why is that? To show that you're strong? That you won? Not at all. The only thing you did was show how easy it is to move you. Power that isn't loud isn't real. It doesn't move. Every hit doesn't make it rise. People can call a Stoic man names, question him, and undervalue him, and he will not be moved. Why? It's not because he wants to protect his pride. He doesn't base his sense of self-worth on what other people think. What it says about him is key. Marcus Aurelius never fought back when he was being criticized for his leadership and for his personal life. He wrote, "The best way to get back at someone who hurt you is to be unlike them." That's strength. Not small revenge, but strong self-control. Telling lies can't hurt you. You can't be moved by a cheap shot. That's not being passive. Imagine being so sure of who you are that no insult can make you change. That's being dominant. You can't control a man who doesn't respond. He doesn't say why. He doesn't give a reason. He is what he is. Well-being. not shook. Lions don't roar at every dog that barks for a reason. They understand who they are. They know which fights are important. What's more, they know which ones don't. When you want to clap back next time, stop. Think about it. Is this worth my peace? Should you give up your mental throne to fight this battle? Leave if it's not. Let the noise go away on its own. There will be more echoes of your quiet than any words ever could. Lesson number 8. Be the rock they lean on. Aristotle said, "Be like the cliff that the waves keep hitting, but it stands firm and keeps the water from being too rough." Through Stoicism, that's what a real man turns into. Not the cutest person, not the most wealthy, not the most loud. The one who doesn't shake, though. The person who everyone turns to when things go wrong. He is the calm in a room full of chaos. Being stoic doesn't mean you don't feel anything. It makes you stronger mentally. That's what your family needs. Your group. Everything. They don't need more noise. Stay calm. Your strength. How steady you are. Be the rock. There's always one thing that stays the same in a storm. There is one force that doesn't change, no matter how strong the winds or waves are. Marcus Aurelius said it best. Be like the cliff that the waves knock against over and over again. It stands firm and calms the fury of the water. For me, this is what Stoicism is all about. It's not important to be the loudest person in the room. It's about having the most strength. The man who doesn't move when everything around him is going crazy. Men who are truly manly don't get caught up in the chaos of the present. When the pressure grows, they don't freak out. The world tries to break them, but they don't bend. They become the calm in the storm instead. The person who everyone goes to when things go wrong. Why? Because they know what they're doing. They know what their job is. They know that they are strong enough to handle anything that comes their way. The Stoic doesn't want to get away from his feelings. He wants to master them. He doesn't avoid pain. He bravely faces it. And that strength, it shines a light on those around him. People who are Stoic stay calm when everyone else is losing it. His steady presence gives others something to lean on. The world doesn't need any more guys who are easily hurt and break down when things go wrong. It doesn't need more noise, excitement, or to take its attention away. There needs to be men who can always be there and bring security. It needs guys that people can count on and who can give calm advice instead of panic when others look to them for help. You need to be the rock for your family. You need to be the rock for your team, your neighborhood, your friends, and even people you don't know need you to be the rock. You are good enough as it is. You don't have to be perfect. You have to be steady, though. Being a Stoic doesn't mean being perfect. It's the way to be emotionally strong, of not being scared when bad things happen in life. It's about growing up to be a man who can handle hard times without getting lost. A man who can also help other people struggle. When things look like they are going to fall apart, ask yourself, am I being the rock? Can people lean on me when the storm comes? Because you change more than just your life when you learn to stand firm no matter what. Everyone around you changes because of you. That's how men act. They don't just stay alive. They do well, and they bring other people with them. That kind of man is needed in the world. And being Stoic is the key to being the kind of man who stands strong when everyone else falls. A lot of guys will never go this way. Until life makes them humble, they'll look for warmth, praise, and other things to do. But a very small number will rise. This is what the Stoics say to do. The tougher way, the less noisy one. They will learn to rule with reason instead of ego. Their thoughts will get as sharp as blades. They will learn that this is where the real fight is, not outside. Inside, the plan is now in front of you. Now the only question is, are you going to live it? Remember that real men don't join the storm, they become the calm that breaks it.